So you want to make a basic cartoon shader. So how do we even go around that? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to shading. And inside of shading, what we want is we want to go into render so we can actually see it. Now we have this little light right here. We're going to do G. And this guy is going to be very important in order to actually see what it looks like. Click on the cube here. We have the principal BDSF. So pretty much the exact same. But what we're going to do is we're going to convert this to RGB. So we're going to do Shift A, search, RGB, shader to RGB. Click here. So nothing looks like it happened, but what we want to do now is we want to do Shift A, search, and we want a ramp, color ramp. Go here. So if I darken this up, it'll look like that. If I lighten this up, it'll look like that. So what's cool about this now is we can actually change the color of this. Go here, so we can have black as, let's say, a blue. Because ever see like for animations and stuff, they always have blue as like the black, really dark blue. Okay, plus we can kind of give this a bit of a different hue. Just kind of add a bit like it's being transmitted through. Go. Okay, so now if I click G here, we can kind of see it. So another way we can see it is if we do Shift A, let's do the monkey, G, and go to here, click on the material we just created, RR. That looks really good. So we can see that it has that like cartoon type feel, but essentially the main principle for this is you have to convert the principal BDSF or any other materials to be RGB. So that way it doesn't actually match the light rays. We're using the light rays in order to figure out like what should the material be. Now, a different method that we can do for this is that we can click on this cube here. We can just make this an emission material and then do the outline as well. So if we do Shift A search, let's do emission. Shift A search, we want to do a texture coordinate. Here's texture coordinate. Here's the emission one. Shift A search, we want a mapping. So generate goes to a vector. And Shift A, we got the normal. So here's the normal. So we can kind of rotate around if we wanted to. So this guy goes here. This guy goes here. Shift A search color ramp. This goes here. Emission here. And we have this guy, and I'm going to connect this guy to the emission. Now color goes to color. And let's make this down like this. But notice how now it's based off of this sphere. So by rotating the sphere, we get that effect. So let's say we want this to be, I don't know, green. This guy to be a light green. This guy to be a bit darker. So this is another way that we can do the cartoon, where you have something like this. But you can see the pros and cons for this. So you might want to use this for, let's say, fleshy or let's say a leaf. So if I do Shift A, let's see, I want a metaball. Let's see, mesh. Oh, sorry, not mesh. Metaball, ball, G, Shift D, Okay, go here, click the material. You can really see that it's like almost turning into, let's say a tree or like a bush because of the metaballs. So yeah, so you could do it like this, or you can have it like this. But essentially the main basis of a cartoon shader is you gotta convert the 3D world into essentially colors instead of these light rays.